Good morning, everyone. Well, this is a bit of an unexpected editorial that I was not planning on releasing today. But when I saw the headline, it caught me too much by surprise not to respond to it. But here it is. Jordan Peterson is shocked to discover his resemblance to Nazi supervillain the Red Skull. Now, this is in regards to the fact that a new series of Captain America comic books are going to be written by Ta-Nehisi Coates. For those who do not know who he is, he's a very radical activist, author, journalist. He writes for the Atlantic magazine. And very, 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 I would say, anti-America perspective. So the fact that he's writing for Captain America is nothing short of just propaganda. Why Marvel's moving in this direction, I don't know. I really do think that this whole woke thing has gotten way out of control with too many places, especially in entertainment, and I think there will be a backlash. I don't want there to be a backlash. It's actually very, very upsetting to me that, we're so divided together that we're actually trying to tear apart anything that actually unites us. Our culture is one of those things. I don't want to be living in a country where we have two separate cultures based on your political worldview. But basically, that's the direction that Marvel, the NFL, Disney, lots of other companies have decided they want to go. That if you don't agree with our political views, then you don't deserve our any sort of our entertainment, or at least we will mock you. We will openly harass you and mock you in our entertainment. And we're expected to just continue to buy that? I guess they don't want our business. It makes no sense. But try to understand, these are all corporations. Corporations respond very quickly. They're very quick to act, but they don't plan too far long in advance. They really don't. They're looking for the quick dollar. That's how they operate. And I'm going to say this to any one of my listeners who might be under the wrong impression about what my views on corporate America are. Corporations are not capitalism. That is the one of the dumbest things I've ever heard from a lot of left-wing people who honestly think that corporations are the what would you say, just like the symbol of capitalism. No. Corporations are one way to form a company, and they're a good way to raise capital, but that doesn't make them free market enthusiasts. Corporate America lobbies the government more than almost any other entity. They're profit-seeking. It's not the same thing as capitalism. Capitalism is free market, free enterprise, and voluntary transaction, private property. Corporatism is, let's make money any way possible. They don't care if they make money through government contracts. They don't care if they use government lobbying to actually increase regulations to, what would you say, strangle out the competition, which is what they do. I hope you understand that. So many people think that Jeff Bezos is this greedy capitalist. He must be this hardcore right-winger, right? Bullshit. He gives more money to the Democratic Party than I think almost any other billionaire. And why does he do it? All these billionaires, they all call for higher taxes and more regulations, and they all support the Democratic Party. Why do all these billionaires support the Democratic Party? It's because they're compassionate? Bullshit. It's because they know you increase regulations and increase taxation hurts them marginally, but hurts their competition extraordinarily. All right, I'm getting really off topic, but this is the main headline. Jordan Peterson is shocked to discover his resemblance to Nazi, whatever. So this is from Slate magazine or slate.com, which is garbage, but it's a headline that's all over any multiple different publications. But I chose this one because it was probably the most inflammatory. Slate, like I said, is very, very dishonest. This very first line basically tells you how dishonest it is. Jordan Peterson is a Canadian professor of psychology. Well, at least they got that right. Who was embraced by right-wingers in 2016. Okay, marginally great. I think he was embraced by right, left, and center, just anyone who's not far left, after refusing to honor his students' request to use their preferred pronouns. See, that's where it goes just way off the deep end. That's not true. Peterson has said multiple times that he would honor any trans person's pronouns and what they would want to be called. He didn't like the bill C-16 in Canada, which made it by law that you had to use pronouns that were given to you by the person. That seems wrong. He said that was a violation of free speech. It has nothing to do with transphobia. It's just the fact that he thinks that it's a dangerous, dark path towards totalitarian speech laws. And he's not wrong, by the way. But anyways, then leveraged his YouTube channel and fear of political correctness to build a career as a self-help guru to the alt-right. Okay, this is so inflammatory that I just don't even know if I should continue reading it. Like, every single line is a lie. He also appears to be the basis of a current incarnation of Marvel's Nazi supervillain, the Red Skull, who has returned to the comic book universe in courtesy of Between the World and Me, writer Ta-Nehisi Coates. Coates is currently wrapping up a 2.5-year run on Captain America and Captain America number 28, which was released on March 31st. The Red Skull has a YouTube channel that looked very familiar to Peterson, except for the Red Skull part. Here's the screenshot. So, this is the Red Skull saying 10 rules for life, chaos and order, Carl Luger's genius, the feminist trap. I don't know about Carl Luger. As someone who's read Peterson's books, I don't think that he's mentioned him. But Peterson responds with, what the hell? Because the not so subtle connection from a professor of psychology to Nazi supervillain is beyond despicable to me. This headline did get me upset, I will say. That's why I'm responding to it. Because I, like many, have been affected by, the words and lectures of Jordan Peterson. I've read his book. I'm in the middle of reading Maps of Meaning. Haven't finished that one. That one's a little bit harder to digest than 12 Rules for Life. I think that was the intention. I think Maps of Meaning is a far more abstract book than it is like where the 12 Rules for Life is basically a self-help book. It's written very well, and it goes into deeper religious and philosophical issues, but for the most part, it's self-help. But it's so odd that they would compare Peterson to Nazis when I believe you could probably make an argument that Peterson has dedicated his life towards trying to understand the psyche that created Nazi Germany so that we can avoid returning there at any point. I mean, isn't the whole never again thing plastered upon the Holocaust Museum? Wouldn't we want to try to understand what brought the Nazis to power and try to avoid that? But America has taken all the wrong lessons. They really have. They think censorship is the best way to go about it. I think, in Hitler's own words, censorship was one of the reasons he felt like he radicalized in Mein Kampf. I haven't read Mein Kampf, but I've heard that feeling like their voices were not being heard and the problems that they were raising, the issues that they were raising weren't being addressed is what radicalized him. Now, you could probably make the argument okay, so how should we accept someone who says the Jews are trying to overthrow us as a legitimate issue to talk about? I don't know if it was that blatant. I've read some of Hitler's earlier talks about Jews, and he definitely had no love for the Jews before he rose to power. But I don't know if it was outright animosity, hatred. But it could have been. It could have been. But anyways, he's trying to... Ta-Nehisi Coates is trying to compare Peterson to Nazis, which is not what you would say new. People have been trying to do this as long as Peterson has been in public life. But to actually put him in a comic book as a Nazi supervillain, so the Red Skull isn't just a Nazi, he's a Nazi supervillain. They were the Hydra. They were even a radical sect within the Nazis. So it's just beyond bizarre. We're living in a world where Marvel thinks that that's an okay thing. And the comic, I think, goes on to tell you here, is this from the same issue? Yeah, he did. It's the same for all of them. Young men weak, looking for purpose. I found the flag, you found the badge. They found the skull. He tells them what they've always longed to hear, that they're all secretly great, that the whole world is against them, that if they're truly men, they'll fight back. That is not the message of Peterson, but I think it's trying to... And bingo, that's their purpose. That's what they live for. First off, he doesn't say that they're all secret. Peterson doesn't say that all men are secretly great. He doesn't say that. He says that we have the potential for greatness if we find a meaning to our lives worthy of pursuing. And he doesn't say that we have to fight, the world is out to get us. That's not what he's saying either. That's specifically a kind of a Marxist take, actually. I don't think he says that. He actually says, look within. Don't look outside. Look within to change yourself. That's his message. So the fact that they would like run this smear campaign, Marvel would run this smear campaign against him, and then not even represent his views correctly, is just, it's defamation. Oh my goodness. Let's see. What other thoughts? And just to hammer it in how much Peterson doesn't like Nazis and he wants to help rid the world of even Nazi thought, his very first video on YouTube, go watch it. It's an explanation about how the Nazis came to power and how mankind is predisposed towards hate. So we need to actually work against that. But either way, it's just, I found this news headline deeply unsettling. I found it deeply troublesome because, it's, like I said, he actually has impacted my life in a very positive way. As I think he has affected a lot of people. A lot of people felt like they had no purpose to their life, and the purpose isn't fighting back against like the Marxists. The purpose is taking on responsibility in your life. Do something that's worth it. That's the message of his books. Okay. Just thought I'd give a little rant about that because, fuck this guy Coates. Yeah, this is propagandistic. It really is. I don't know, maybe our message should be that we should fight back against the Marxists. Coates is someone who's actually expressed in like his opinion articles about how he remembers on 9/11 that he was high on his balcony in New York, overlooking the towers burning and people jumping from the building, and he describes how he felt nothing. I mean, if that's not narcissism and psychopathy, I don't know what you could describe it. Thousands of people died that day, and he felt nothing. Maybe he's saying, well, it was due. It was deserved. Like, I don't want to get into a deeply Christian message here, but if I think that we do need a little bit of Jesus in our lives, because wasn't it him who says we should love our enemies as if they were ourselves? I mean, you should want what's best for them. Because let's say this, like if the enemies have what's best for them, truly what is best for them, will they be filled with as much hate? There will be less hate in the world. There will be less sorrow in the world. There will be less villainous and violence in the world if everyone were to succeed. That's what Jesus' message was. That's what it means to love your enemies. You should want what's best for them. And what's best for them isn't that necessarily that they succeed in their endeavors to defeat you. It should be the best in their endeavors to look within, to better themselves, and to find true purpose in life. One without animosity or hate. Oh well. Yeah, just thought I'd share that.